Hi guys, and welcome to the second part of the lesson. And in this lesson we're just going to go through a few more extensive skills. Again, I've done a second part of a tutorial which demonstrates these skills but on different types of graphics. And as before, you don't have to use the graphics I've supplied. You could choose your own for as long as you're using the similar skills. So the first graphic I've got is the original building, and a second graphic I've then got is an image of a lady sat on some steps. So swiftly moving on, guys. So the use of the marquee tool. Now the marquee tool allows us to select rectangular areas or at least one pixel high lines or vertical lines and horizontal lines. And as you can see in the first image, what I've done is selected the marquee tool and then just left click and hold the area that I want to select. Now some instructions here in the middle, so select the marquee tool, Control C and Control V will work fine in Photoshop, and all we do then is once we've copied to Control C, we Control V straight afterwards. And what this does, this has the effect of creating the copied version onto a new layer. Now, as soon as we've got this copied version, it looks no different. So until we go up to the Move tool and we left click and we move the image around. And then we can see that we've got this area. Now, I put a border around it just so you can clearly see that I've copied that area. This is just that area there. Okay. Okay, so the lasso tool. The lasso tool allows us to literally physically hand draw around an area to select. Maybe you need to get it a little bit closer, more closely, more perspective wise to the actual image itself that you want to copy. So as you can see here, guys, I've started to draw around, and it is important here that when we draw around using the lasso style tools, is that the start point, wherever you start, is the point at which you finish before you let the left mouse button go. And that's really important. The lines must touch. Okay, so again, Control C, Control V, and we repeat the process. Again, you can move that around. It does exactly the same thing. Okay, the polygon lasso tool. The lasso tools are very, very similar. Polygon lasso, instead of being able to free draw around an image, this allows us every time you click, so if you click once, click again, it draws a line between the points, then click again, then click again, then click again, until we've got this kind of shape. And again, Control C, Control V, you use the Move tool, you can move that around. Okay, so the crop tool. Now the crop tool, we can take an area, so if you press the crop area, crop the button on the left hand side of your Photoshop, and just literally left click and draw a shape anywhere. It doesn't really matter where that goes, because then you can use these anchor points to kind of maneuver this square where you want it to go. So what I've done is I've grabbed this corner here and just dragged it into this bottom. So I've make sure I've got this the left hand side and the bottom of this image, make sure she's in there, and then I've taken the top left and then just dragged that down, and then I've got this area where I've selected before. Everything outside of this area of crop will just disappear, and that is the result of cropping. I can then just use the marquee tool to basically take that area, select the whole thing, and copy that as it is. Okay, combining images. As you can see here, guys, and as I've said, I'm going to say in the tutorial videos, it's important to consider the size of your images. The top image, now even though this is on the internet, this is actually quite a good resolution, a very clear resolution at 472. Okay, so as you can see here, guys, we've got a width image of 0.49, so it's half a centimetre. So that half a centimetre by just over half a centimetre at 472 pixels looks like that, but we wanted it to be slightly bigger. So what we do is before we copy this image and combine it with our original image, we need to change the image size so it looks a little bit bigger. Now again, you can experiment with this. This is at 2 centimeters wide, and then when we then copy that same area, it looks slightly bigger. So you do have to take this into account when you are combining bitmaps. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is use the erase tool, and the erase tool allows me to eradicate the background of the second image. Remember, it's on a separate layer, so it's not going to affect the background behind it. Okay, so a good tip here, guys, is to zoom this in. Whenever you're erasing and you're trying to get it to a sort of contour, zoom it right in. You'll get to see each pixel as you go. Bit time consuming, but the results are quite good. And as you can see here, guys, I've made it look like this lady is actually sat on the edge of this building. And again, you know, although it looks hard to place a larger lady sat on the building, it kind of, you know, the way that it's being cut out is quite good. Okay, so an activity for you guys is I want you to combine a range of images from various sources. So go to the internet, various sources, various file types, bitmaps, JPEGs, PNGs. Create a unique image. I want to use a variety of different software tools, at least the ones that we've covered in these lessons, to create your image. And you can use Word or PowerPoint to evidence any written work that you've done. So in other words, tell me what you've done to change the file size, what tools have you used, how have you used them. Okay, now initially you can use the files that I'm sending along with you, just as a practice. But I would like to think you can do something off your own back, come up with your own project and combine your own images. Have fun with that, guys, and as always, questions and share my homework.